Decking is the next step to further secure our structure and is the foundation for pouring of concrete to create our floor. However, before we can deck, we need to shake out our deck bundles so we can deck safely and efficiently. Shaking out deck typically occurs immediately after our bolts are snapped up, as we want to make sure our floor is sturdy and secure. Like everything we have discussed up to this point, our decking process will follow our sequencing plan, and since we are working within Greenlight's F to H for our initial sequence, hey, just wanted to stop you and tell you thank you for watching. It really does support us when you watch. Take the extra step, like and subscribe this video and or follow us. It would really help us out. Carry on, enjoy the rest of the video. Check us out at workerefficiency.com for more videos just like this. See ya. We can look to our office building, level 3, level 2 deck layout plans. Yes, we have plans for this. And this is why if you're working in the field, you cannot not know how to read drawings. This is our drawing, and here are the areas for our first decking sequences. 1F, 1G, 1P, 1Q, 1W, and 1X are the locations in which our metal decking must be shaken out on top of our boxed and filled steel. Shaken out meaning it will be placed and staged in those locations. Under the title of this drawing, we have details for the installation of our decking. We won't go into too many details here as we talked in depth about this in drawings, so refer to drawings for more details. To brief over it, our line and dot indicates the direction for deck to be laid and the type. Our deck is 3 inches thick. Our decking will attach the beams underneath with a 5/8 puddle weld. The puddle welds will be every 12 inches on center of the beam underlining and in a 36x4 pattern. So across the span of 36 inches, we'll have 4 rows of welds. The side laps of the deck will be attached by button punch every 2 feet. Once our decking has been laid and secured by puddle welds and button punch, Nelson studs need to be welded into our underlining beams. Before you ask, yes, we do have drawings for this as well. This drawing tells us exactly where Nelson studs need to be welded, how many rows per beam, and how far they need to be spaced between them. It's important to reference your stud details as there is more information and criteria that needs to be met. For our office building, studs will be welded 12 inches from the column's center line. Depending where you're at in the sequence of your erection, the number of studs and how many that will be welded may vary. For example, let's look at our beams between F and G. We need 44 studs welded in a single row, every 8.5 inches. In other places in our building, it may vary. Know your drawings and follow your drawings. They are your instructions. Decking is installed in an organized fashion, one sheet at a time spreading outward from our predetermined point according to drawing instructions, all while securing decking per our drawings. We then need to shoot studs in preparation for concrete to be poured, creating our floor. Nelson studs are welded to the decking, and their protruding studs act as connection points for mesh rebar that will be installed by the concrete contractor. Always consider safety when landing deck bundles. Anyone and everyone working at elevated heights needs to be wearing a safety harness and be connected to fall protection cable, whether it be device overhead retractables or engineered safety rope systems like cantilever lines that are dressed into our steel. Beam gliders are also a great choice. Deckers are extremely vulnerable to falls as they are scaling metal skeletal structures to lay out deck. Do your due diligence to ensure your safety and the safety of others around you. As decking is being laid, there are 3 things you need to be aware of and check for. That you lay the deck in its correct orientation, with the male edge up and the subsequent deck with its female connection. That the deck is square to the header in front of you. The sheet metal should not be crooked as it lays on the steel beams and should always be either perpendicular or parallel in fashion. Lastly, that you mark on the deck sheet where the header, beam, or joist is underneath. Whatever steel is underneath your deck, you want to make sure you mark where it is underneath your deck. This helps with orientating puddle welds and shooting Nelson studs. Place the deck with orientation in mind. Check for square, mark on deck for underneath header, girder beams, joists, and repeat. When welding later on, the marking will help you to know exactly where the beam is underneath the deck. Again, your drawings are going to be your roadmap for final installation and should dictate where and how many welds need to be placed. Once you have your laid deck, you want to weld the deck to the beams and button punch your side laps together quickly. Why do we not want to get too far ahead of ourselves here? Well, imagine if you laid 40 sheets down and the wind picks up drastically. The dangerous scenario you have put yourself in is now sending sharp pieces of deck off the building and potentially knocking you off, hitting and or landing on people below. By this point, you'll probably notice a theme here, which is that your drawings will indicate where and how to do the deck work at hand. When in doubt, look to your drawings. This is decking. Thank you again for watching. We appreciate it. Like and subscribe, follow and share this video. It really does help us out. If If you want to learn more, check out www.workerefficiency.com to find out more about our training courses and the app that is coming out soon, and it will blow your mind.